and as a result, here the last day or so, there have been lots of conspiracy theories that have been floating
I've heard
as to his death.
Yeah, I mean, there were some conjectures about that. Glenn Beck hit on some of those things, but until the autopsy report comes back, nobody knows what's going on. He might have genuinely just dropped over unexpectedly. It does happen. Although
Certainly.
you can't help but wonder, in the world that we live, and a guy walking down the street without any security or anything, if there wasn't something that might have happened to him, slipped a Mickey or some kind of thing, who knows? But I certainly hope that that's not the case. I really, it would really distress me to find out that somebody would go out of their way to take somebody out like him. That would be just very disheartening.
Well, I'm not sure you would find out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, yeah.
I'm not sure that that's going to be on the front page of any newspaper.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to wait and see.
But he was definitely a mover and shaker within the conservative movement, and actually was one, like you said, that people looked to for comment and for answers as to the things that were going on in the day. And he will leave a big hole on the landscape of those that are interested in hearing the conservative point of view.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'm thinking, there's people around the world. Like I've had people on Facebook who live in other countries who have said things to the effect of like that. I don't care for the Tea Party or this or that, or I don't like the Tea Party. And I'm thinking, I don't think that those people really understand what the Tea Party represents for us as Americans who are patriots. Steve, I'm going to catch you off guard here. Do you think you could give a rundown of what the Tea Party stands for?
Well, of course, the Tea Party took their cue from the Boston Tea Party, where citizens in Boston decided that they were not going to stand for taxation without representation.
Right.
They were not going to allow the government to rule them and them not have a say.
Right.
And so the modern day Tea Party has pretty much taken on that same cause, and frankly, that's a noble cause. I don't care what country you're in. It's noble for people to say, look, the rank and file, us normal folks ought to have a point of view that is at least listened to,
right,
and not just cast aside.
Right.
And so the Tea Party movement, in truth, has a tremendous foundation within the history of our country.
Right, and for those who might not have caught the the jump there, those in Boston boarded the boats that were loaded with tea that was going to be, here's your tea, America, given to us by England under force, and having to pay for the taxes on the whole thing. They got on board and took the contents of the boat and threw it into the harbor.
Yes, and that was the beginning of the Revolutionary War here in our country.
You so communists.
That is from the British perspective there, and in truth, he doesn't believe that.
That's right. Yeah, that's totally tongue in cheek from Daniel. Whoever it was. Yeah.
But when I hear people say things, I saw a headline today that said that Ted Turner said that the members of the Tea Party were mean.
Yeah.
I think that there are people that are misinformed and just see the Tea Party people because they are unhappy with the way things are going. And so they assume that they have a mean axe to grind or something like that. And I think there is a component, and particularly within some of the mainstream media. This is why Andrew Breitbart was railed on by those within the mainstream media, because I think a lot of them, from their perspective, do not want to hear from the Tea Party. They want to promote their agenda, and
right.
only their agenda.
Right. Now, what would be the agenda of the Tea Party then, Steve?
The Tea Party, as I understand it, and I'm not a member of the Tea Party.
Right. I don't see. Here's the thing. I don't believe that the Tea Party is a membership issue. It is an ideal. It is
a grassroots movement.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with like, oh, I've got my card here. I'm a member, and it's not that at all. It is believing in the Constitution, about the foundation of our country, how we.
Right. Who do we know from Jackson, Mississippi?
From Jackson?
Yeah, Mississippi. Because I'm going to unmute the caller now, and the caller is live.
Okay.
Hello.
Go ahead, Jack.
Remember, you have to use the volume on the phone, not on your laptop. Otherwise, you will suffer a huge, huge delay.
And you won't be the only one suffering.
Hello.
Hi, how you doing?
Cannot hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you good. Maybe I'm wondering if the audio problem is at our end, Daniel. Is that possible?
It could be at my end. It's highly unlikely, though, because nothing has changed.
We've not had problems like this before.
No.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you fine.
Well, I'm on a landline, but I haven't got the radio tuned up. I've got it muted.
Okay. Can I ask your name?
This is Bill Looman.
Oh, Bill.
Bill has been calling in all night from different locations, and
I'm testing.
Go to Jackson. Jeez.
We think he's out looking for a
job,
for a basement or something. Because of the storm problems there.
Yeah, he's got his neighbors with him. It's a lot of people to park in one spot.
Well, they all shower, so we're good to go.
Yeah. Good. Right. Well, anyway, so there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's our take on what's going on with the misunderstanding the Tea Party. And the reality is, we just believe in sticking to the Constitution that we had, the framework that created the country that we've come to love and enjoy, the freedoms that we have. And the chipping away of those freedoms is anybody who does not believe that the Tea Party is a good thing. Period.
Yes.
Well, I want to jump in and say that I am a member of the Tea Party, and another thing that the Tea Party, first of all, T stands for tax enough already, and one thing that they seem to be trending towards is restoration of the Constitution, or restoration of our sovereignty, or bringing us back to the founders' original intent of the document and the original intent of how our nation should run.
Right.
So why Mr. Turner over here in Atlanta? I think he's in Atlanta. He's a liberal neighbor of mine, I guess. Why he would say we're just mean? It's probably something that spurred off of Andrew's death, and he just had to have an opinion, and he owns a media. I haven't met a mean Tea Party person yet. Even when SEIU was, I was at a protest where SEIU was hitting 50 state capitals in 50 states in support of the Democrats that had ran off into Illinois back when Wisconsin was having their upheaval, and even that event had a counter protest where Tea Party was there, and I was there, and even when SEIU pushed an elderly woman to the ground, we didn't attack them or counterattack them or anything.
Right. Yeah.
It was a peaceful protest on our part, but they seemed to keep continuously trying to prod the Tea Party to get them to act violent.
Oh, well, I think that's certainly true, that they're trying to get you to do the wrong thing.
Yeah, that's it.
And I've watched this from the outside. I haven't been involved with any Tea Party rallies or anything like that, but I've watched this from the outside, and I can tell you that everything that I've seen about the Tea Party, that it's a peaceful, groundswell, grassroots movement of people from every walk of life, every color, and even every political persuasion, who just want to see our country return to the Constitution. And it is departing from the Constitution at a rapid rate.
I'd like to see your country go back to the Constitution.
Well, thank you, Daniel. I appreciate that.
I'm waiting for the. I'm
well,
waiting
no,
for
I mean,
the
come on, no. There's no punchline. Listen, I absolutely agree with the Tea Party. Taxed enough already. It's absolutely fair. We have the same thing in this country. We have taxation without representation, and
right.
It's exactly the same as it was in the United States in the 1700s. I don't blame you. I don't blame the 13 states for what they did to us. Mm-hmm. I have no qualms about it. Never did have. Mm-hmm. Obviously, I wasn't born then, but I know exactly what you were all talking about because we have the same thing in this country now.
Right. Yeah. It's killing you. It's killing you.
It's not only is it killing us, it's killing you lot as well.
Well, but
the thing is, what's happening in your country is killing us as well.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And see, here's the important thing. I've lived all over the world. I've lived in small developing countries, and I've lived in large mega powers, not just in the United States, but in lots of places all over the world. One of the things that I've noticed is that in countries where they're really struggling, oftentimes they are trying to tax themselves into prosperity, and you can't do that.
Nope.
Now, we have a... I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but Tyler has something he wanted to say.
Well, actually, I need to know what part of the conversation you're at the moment. I got lost because I got distracted, so sorry. Keep on going first, and then I'll chime in.
All right, well, it comes back to you. Yeah, just snap your fingers at me. Oh, I remember now. Sorry, Steve. Go ahead.
But there are. I got an email today from someone, and as I was scrolling through it, there were 5 statements that I read down at the bottom that I thought were profound. Number one, you cannot legislate the poor into prosperity by legislating the wealthy out of prosperity.
Exactly. Yes, I read that. That's brilliant. Would you read all 5 of those and read them slowly? Read them slowly. I want people to get the impact of this.
Well, like I said, the first one is you cannot legislate the poor into prosperity by legislating the wealthy out of prosperity. It won't work that way. Number 2, and this one is profound. Mm-hmm. What one person receives without paying for, another person must work for without receiving.
Good point.
That's not equity.
True. That's absolutely true.
That's right. Very true. Number 3, the government cannot give to anybody anything that the government first does not take from somebody else.
Mm-hmm. And that would be taxpayers.
That's correct. Number 4, and this is so elemental that it's almost funny.
And it's exactly the truth too.
You cannot multiply wealth by dividing it.
Yeah, thank you.
That's mathematically impossible.
Yeah, and it's also profound.
Not according to socialism, it's not.
Well, but look.
Or should I say communism?
Same thing. Yeah.
Look at socialist states and see if they truly have multiplied wealth. They haven't. They've diminished wealth.
That's right.
Number 5, when half of the people get the idea that they do not have to work because the other half is going to take care of them, mm-hmm. and when the other half gets the idea that it does no good to work because somebody else is going to get what they work for, mm-hmm. that is the beginning of the end of any nation.
Right.
Now, this email was sent to me by a guy, and he told me about a experiment that a college professor, an economics professor, did in his class. And the class was actually talking and insisting that socialism worked, and if we would just move in that direction, that no one would be poor and no one would be rich, everybody would be equal.
Yeah, and everybody be healthy and live to be 500.
That's right. So the professor said, okay, then we'll have an experiment in this class on socialism and on Obama's plan. Mm-hmm. All grades will be averaged, and everyone will receive the same grade so that no one will fail and no one will receive an A. Mm-hmm. And, he was kind of substituting grades for dollars, which is something closer to home and probably more readily understood by all.